What's good, Josh Gamakai? Welcome back to my channel. Pascal Siakam just finished a great season where he averaged 24.2 points, 6 assists, and 8 rebounds per game. And I feel like when it comes to the discussion of the upper echelon players in NBA, Pascal is somebody who's always omitted from those conversations. And I feel like he's one of the most impactful guys on both ends of the floor. So for him to be omitted when people are talking about stars and just have his name be disrespected overall, I feel like that's a mistake, and these are some of the things that he does that I feel impact the game at a high level. On this play right here, we see Pascal Siakam in transition, kind of gets an early steal on his man right here, easy layup, using his size to his advantage. Great stuff right there. On this next play, we're going to see Pascal going up against Draymond. Here we see how he can, play with his back to the basket and just kind of wheel and deal and just kind of slice his way to layups. Great spin move right there. And on this play right here, we see Pascal once again, and he's just gonna I slowed it down for y'all. Here, he's just gonna get Julius Randle going one way, spin the other way while his momentum is going one way, and then he's able to get the easy layup around him. Great stuff right there. On this next play, it's gonna be Pascal, and he has Giannis on him, so he, as a screener, and then he just kind of bumps Giannis out the way, gets a little separation on the bump. Great mid-range look, great stuff right there. On this next play, it's gonna be Pascal, and he has Derek White one-on-one. So here, he's just gonna spin away from the help and then get the layup underhand. Great stuff right there. Great recognition of recognizing where the help is gonna come from. Spins away from it. Once again, uses his size to make a layup. Here, Jaylen Brown on him. He's gonna get him in the post once again. Spin right around him and make sure that the help does not touch that layup. Great stuff. On this way right here, we see him, kind of dealing in the pick and roll. Here, Jokic has to step back because, he can obviously cook him like that. Here, he just pulls up in the mid-range. Great stuff. On this next play, it's going to be Pascal. He gets downhill, but he's met by Evan Mobley, so he kind of just resets the play. The pass to Gary Trent usually doesn't work. So here he crosses over, steps back in Evan Mobley's face. Great stuff right there. Really, really great stuff from the in-between. Here he's in the teeth of his own defense. Finishes through some contact from Klay Thompson. Great stuff right there. On this next play, it's going to be Pascal once again. And Pascal, little snatch back, tween. Once again, that kind of bump, step back, mid-range game. He's really good at he doesn't have to use sheer speed to create separation. He can use his physical strength to kind of bump and get that separation. And his step backs cover a lot of range. You see him attack the closeout there, get a wide open dunk. Great quick decision off the catch right there. Great stuff. Here we see Pascal one-on-one, and he's in between once again. And once again, he's just gonna raise up, knock down a mid-range shot. He isn't the best mid-range shooter in the world, but he's really good at getting to his spots in mid-range and just rising up like that. As you see here, once again, it's kind of the same thing. Smaller guy on him, so he just kind of raises up, shoots the jumper right above him. Here we're going to see Pascal use a screen. He goes under the screen, step back for the three. Once again, he's not like some crazy three-point shooter, but if you go under, he is capable of hitting that shot. And then on this next play, this is really good right here. Here, he's just going to have his back to the basket, spin another way, and he's free for the layup. This really just shows kind of the post craft that he has, the great footwork he has. Just really, really great stuff right there from Pascal. And then here, Pascal once again attacking, but this time he's fouled, but he can finish with a contact. And look where he rises up for the floater. Great stuff. Here, Pascal once again does a little bump, step back. This is kind of a go-to move for him to create space in the mid-range, and it usually works. And then here on this play, we're just going to see him once again in the middle of the floor. Great floater or after the catch. Great stuff right there. And then on this next play, it's going to be Pascal. Jab to free himself open. I created a lot of space. And look at the way he can just knife through a defense like this. This is great stuff. Great use of the 1-2 step and great layup. Great finish. Here we're going to see Pascal once again. And here he slows down to kind of force the contact and get some free throws. Great way to draw foul. Just great stuff in transition on Isaiah Hartenstein. Great stuff. Here he dragged it on Evan Mobley once again. And Evan Mobley, he stops the drive. So the counter is just get into the mid-range bag. And you see how he has to throw it up higher because Evan Mobley is a really, really tall guy with really long arms. Great stuff from great recognition right there. Here, it's going to be him using the screen. Once again, Larry Marketing goes under. And he can burn you with jumper sometimes. Great stuff. And on this play right here, once again, he's in the post. And, I'm going to show a lot of these clips. But that kind of bump, step back, mid-range is just part of his bag. Here in transition, they're going to get the steal on Nas Reed. And then here, we just see some of the great footwork, great craft. Just going to Euro step around Kyle Anderson and then finish with his offhand. Great stuff right there. Really shows off the craft that Pascal has. And on this play, Pascal, look at the quick decisions here. He stops the drive right there so the counter is to go into the post, and he stops the post work so the counter is to go into the spin right there, and he spins right around and gets a great layup right there. Just great activity, great, work from Pascal. Here, Pascal kind of fakes the screen, and then you see him, as a screener a little bit because he's, forward, he's taller. So, and then he just gets a wide open floater right there. Not wide open, but a good floater right there. Great stuff. Here, we're going to see Pascal attack off the catch once again. 1-2 dribbles, and then he just rises up with a dunk. Pascal's an underrated athlete. He can sometimes get bouncy like this. Great stuff. And then here on this play, he's attacking the closeout once again. But this time, does behind the back to, avoid the help reset. And then he's just going to spin around his man and then show off the great touch on the little layup right there. Great stuff, great control, in traffic. Great stuff. Here, he's going to use the screen. And then look at where he gets his floater up from. Really far floater. Shows off the touch that Pascal possesses. Great stuff right here. And here, he just knifes his way around, Al Horford. Great use of just long strides to get to the layup. On this one right here, we're going to see him, once again, using his size, and he just gets deep positioning on Donovan Mitchell. Misses the initial layup, and then he's able to knock down the next one. Once again, he's in the teeth of his own. And this time, he's just going to finish with some contact after the spin doesn't work. And this is just great stuff right here, and one. And on this play right here, he has a one-on-one with Torrey Craig, so he does what somebody should do, take advantage of this matchup, and then he kisses the fadeaway off the glass. Great stuff. And then on this play, he's just gonna not shy away from the contact, finish through contact, high shot, and one. Great stuff. On this play right here, it's gonna be Pascal. Receives the screen, gets the switch that he wants, drags his man out, and then he just gonna, little in and out behind the back, and this just gets him the space. Great handle, plus handles for a forward that big. Really great stuff right here. And then on this play, he just gonna, kind of just bruise his way around his man to get to the layup. All in all, this is just to say that Pascal is a very gifted scorer. You can see that he can get to the rim. He gets to the rim, by, having his back to the basket, using all kinds of spin moves and crafty finishes and just different kind of layups and just all great kind of stuff. He can, get his own shot in between. You can see him being used as a screener sometimes. This play is really good. He just probes and probes and probes. Doesn't want to run into the help. And then he just turns over the opposite shoulder and then hits this really tough mid-range shot right there. Great stuff. On this next play, it's going to be Pascal in the post on Zach LaVine. Just a simple turnaround midi. He's really good at taking advantage of mismatches. Somebody that small is on him, he's going to, try and take advantage of it every time. This play right here, he kind of hangs in the air. Shows off the athleticism that he has. Hangs in the air for the floater. Great stuff. And on this play, it's going to be Alex Caruso. Fakes one way to create a little separation. He's really good at, using, kind of not even using dribbles to create separation, but just using his body to create separation, if you know what I'm saying. And on this play right here, jab to get Harrison Barnes, out of position. And then he just is over from that point. After the jab, it was already over. So this is just really great stuff from Pascal, just showing off the versatility that he has as a scorer, as a creator, self-creator that is. Here, Blake Griffin on him, so he just kind of just turns around and goes right to work. Now, he also does a lot of damage as a passer, and we're going to see on this play the kind of damage that he can do as a passer. So on this play, he gets the ball out, top of the key. Because he's driving, he forces some help, so this frees up that A-Shun to slide over for the layup. He kind of fumbles it at first, but overall, he gets a good layup out of it. And this just shows that when you're such a great driver and a great scorer, and you've been torching the team, then they're going to send some help later in the game. On this play, he drives once again, and he sees Peyton Pritchard. You're way too far over, my man. He goes into the post, but Peyton Pritchard is trying to help, so he swings it out to Scotty Barnes for the wide open three. Great stuff right there. And this is what you want to see from your star players. Willingness to, kind of share the ball. And averaging 6 assists, you can tell he's really good at sharing the ball. And on this play right here, he's going to kind of draw Jaden Ivey over and kind of semi-transition. Swings it out to Fred VanVleet for the wide open three. Great stuff right there from Pascal and from Fred. And these are the kind of plays that, you want to see your star players make. And these are the kind of plays that they have to make for, your team to be a great team. On this play right here, they use that kind of Fred go screen a lot. But Pascal, he's still going to attempt to drive. And then he sees that, he has a good matchup here, goes to the signature, back to the basket thing, draws the help from Embiid, dumps it into Scotty. Great. Pascal's playmaking, comes a lot from just drawing a lot of help. He's not like gonna be a great, defensive manipulator like Jokic or like Luka, but just his sheer ability to get to the basket just draws that double team, and he's always willing and able to find an open man. Here he draws the help, and that he recognized that he has to do a skip pass to Will Barton. Great stuff right there. On this next play, it's gonna be the Raptors, and they get the stop on Joel Embiid. So here they are, running out in transition. And once again, when you're such a great scorer, you're so good at getting to the basket, you're going to force a lot of help. So even in transition, he forces a lot of the Sixers to come and guard him, and that just opened up the wide open three for OG Anunoby. Great stuff right there. And you really see like the great drivers, they always want to force help, and that's no different with Pascal. Here, Pascal is seen on a short roll, and then, he's reading the floor. He realizes that Fred VanVleet is open in the opposite corner. Great pass right there. Just showing off just kind of the versatility that he has when it comes to being an offensive juggernaut. And I say offensive juggernaut because he really is really good at everything, really. The only thing he's kind of okay at is just three-pointers, 32% this year, but that's, that's doable for a guy who's such a great mid-range shooter and such a great driver. On this play right here, it's going to be Pascal, and then he's going to receive a screen from Otto, reject that screen, and he's getting downhill, and this forces the strong side corner guy to help over, and then he's able to swing as a Chris Boucher, knock down the three. Great stuff right here. And this is just, once again, a great pass and just really an example of the kind of gravity that he has on his drives. On this play right here, he just forces a double team from Julius Randle, and this forces guys to slide over. So he just swings to the wide open man, Gary Trent Jr., because after the rotations, and there we go right there. Once again, a great pass from Pascal, and just great stuff from, having a star guy like this. And, this is just to show that he's not just a scorer, that he can actually affect the game, through his passing, and he's a willing passer at that. So just great stuff. Here, he forces Schultz to step over because Tyler Hero is a weaker defender, and then he just swings it right to Gary Trent for the wide open three. But Pascal is a two-way star, and, he does a lot of things on defense, but one of the best things he does on defense is help. So we see here, he's just going to dig down and stop Robert Williams from getting that layup. Here on this play, we're going to see he digs down on a Derek White drive, and that stops what was going to be kind of a breakdown, and then he gets the layup in transition. On this play, we see him sprint back to get in front of PG, and then keep his body on PG, and then steal the pass that happens after. Great activity on defense, and then he frees up Scotty for the layup in transition. On this next play, Pascal, once again, we're going to see him kind of help. He steps over to stop the pick and roll dive from Jakob, and then he has enough energy to get out to the corner. On this play right here, once again, Pascal, he helps on a drive. Then he's able to sprint back out and contest Trae Young's three. On this play right here, Pascal sees that Quickly has Emmanuel beat. Quickly has Fred beat, and then he's able to run out to the three-point line. Great stuff. On this play right here, you just see the great under control closeout. He doesn't fall for the pump fake. Great under control defense right there. And on this play right here, Pascal just going to slide over and contest this layup from Tyrese Maxey and force the miss. Great stuff right there. And on this play right here, Pascal, you see just a lot of ground that he covers. Here he slides over to stop LeVert. At first he goes to Jared Allen, and then he's able to run out, get a solid contest on the three from Rubio. Just great stuff right there. And then on this, we see him at the point of attack guarding a guard, a pretty quick guard at that. And he's able to just stick with him, and then kind of contest the shot at the end. On this play right here, we see him on Damian Lillard. He's all over him, and he forces Damian to pick up, try a little underhanded layup. That's not going to work. Great defense. And on here, we see Giannis has the best of OG, so he digs down on Giannis, and he's able to run back out and then contest the three and force the miss. So based on these clips I just showed y'all, Pascal Siakam is obviously a plus passer. He's a really great defender. He's a really great help defender. He, covers a lot of ground on the floor. But even with all of that, he still finds a way to impact the game as a scorer. We see he's a great mid-range shooter. We see that he's a great driver. And we just see that he impacts the game in just a lot of different ways. And for him to be disrespected, in some of the ways that I see, all over NBA media and just online and just anywhere, it's just kind of weird because after this video, you should know that he's obviously one of the best players in the NBA, all-star this season. He's been, all-NBA in the past. So Pascal Siakam is just one of the best players in the NBA. And if you stayed to this video, thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.